Moot is a community-driven platform for iOS, Android, and PC dedicated to gamers who enjoy sharing up-to-date reviews, highlights, and memes about the games they play. Navigate through the different lounges for PUBG, Overwatch, Destiny 2, and more, all while voting on posts and leveling up for sharing and discussing content for the games you love. Check out the link in the description for more information.
Hey y'all, Moses here. Just wanted to get you guys some of the news here that's come out this morning regarding the test server update that just went live this morning. There are a few changes in there that should help with server optimization, but the primary announcement is that there are new crates coming to the PC version within the next week or two, I would imagine. We're getting the test environment today, so I'm not sure if that means it's going to hit servers this week as well, because we do know that in past times, these test servers have come out and have then been deployed relatively quickly. So you can see here one of the first renders, one of the high tier jackets. We'll get into the tier business after we get through this. So essentially, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, which is mentioned in the patch notes here, is the changes to the replay system as far as anti-cheat is concerned. So what they've done is they basically enabled you to use the in-game reporting tool and are encouraging you to use the in-game reporting tool, as it is a much more efficient way of making them aware of players who are undermining your enjoyment of the game, so cheating. So there are more in the patch notes, which we'll get to, but beyond that, we have continued to stabilize the game performance since the 1.0 release. We will be tweaking a few things to improve the performance of the game without compromising any gameplay elements. For example, in this test build, we have reduced the visible distance while in the air. This will improve the performance of the server and client in the beginning of the match. We plan to make small changes to the starting islands too in order to achieve similar goals. We will also be testing the new crate system with 2 new crates. So one will be a locked key crate, similar to the Gamescom crate from the last time these things came out, and one will be a new addition that is only opened with battle points, BP. So they've given us 100,000 BP and 6 early bird keys to open the crates. I did that. I'll show that to you in a minute. So they can test new crates within each, the new crates and the items within. Each time you spend BP to get a crate, you will get one of the 4 available crates. So the Survivor and the Wanderer crates are still in rotation, along with the 2 new crates, the Desperado and Biker crates. So you can continue to get old items as well. Something to note, just before I get into the specifics of the items and crates, there are some older items from previous crates in the new crates as well, which I'm not too happy with. I was hoping for a completely new crate system, so you could, complete item system, so you can get all new items rather than, getting potential older duplicates. So regardless, there are some detailed patch notes, which I will go over here shortly. So the world added more objects around La Bandita on Miramar to increase the amount of cover. So that's around the crater. They've increased some objects there, so it's not as open. Generally, the map is pretty open regardless, so I'm not too worried about them making slight changes like that. So I haven't had a chance to get into Miramar yet. The matchmaking this morning on North American servers is pretty slow on the test servers, predictably, because everyone's working and there's no one there. I did try the European server, but it's pretty laggy. So gameplay: reduce the visible distance when parachuting down in order to test the optimization of server and client performance at the early phase of the game. So I guess the draw distance being reduced for everybody, I guess, reduces the load on the server as well as the client. So that should be an improvement. Anything in the early game is an improvement in my mind. They changed the design of the energy drink, so I have not actually seen that in the game yet, but I don't know what that looks like. Probably something to look a little bit less like Red Bull. Who knows? UI adjusted the team squad colors to better reflect their call-out names: yellow, orange, blue, green. Adjusted squad team colors to make them more consistent between different colorblind options. They've also added a function where a player can select more detailed criteria for the cheating category in the in-game reporting tool. You can choose multiple items, or you can just report without selecting any of them. So this is similar to CSGO, where you can select like wall hack, aimbot, what have you. As far as the cheating option is a little bit more detailed now. And now this is the important part regarding replays. While this first part isn't important. While player's nameplate is on H, now you can check the current weapon of that player by pressing the G key. So add a report button replay. This is important as well. So report button pops up when pressing the right mouse button on the player list or the tab key. While observing following mode, report player appears on the timeline. And essentially what you can do now is that you can go into a replay, watch it, and then report a player from the replay system. So this is similar to what the Overwatch system is like in CSGO, where you can watch a demo or a replay in a specific system and then make a decision based on your observations and report the player from there. Obviously, it's not as complex as the Overwatch system in CSGO, but this feels like the bedrock of something along those lines, where you can go into a replay and then you can report them for what you believe to be cheating, and then they'll be flagged on the reporting system, and you can go from there. So a post came out on Reddit a couple of days ago regarding the different types of cheating and why it happens. I won't go into that specific post right now, but essentially the three main methods of detection are signature analysis, so looking for alterations to the game code; heuristic analysis, basically looking at statistical performance and how players perform from a behavioral standpoint; and 3 being the report function that we're now talking about. So essentially what they're asking you to do is be that third component of anti-cheat and review and report players yourself. Now, a lot of players are lazy. They just assume that someone is cheating, they freak out, and they say, Blue Hole's not doing anything. Well, this is something. This is a step in the right direction as far as what you can do to combat cheating, and that is to participate in the anti-cheat system yourself. So I report players that are obviously cheating. I am fairly skeptical of what looks to be cheating because of the style and the quality of the replay system not being true to life in what CSGO is like, where what you're watching on the replay is identical to what you're seeing when you're playing the game, or very, very close to. Whereas in PUBG, there's lag in the spectate system, there's lag in the replay system. What looks like jerky aiming movements might just be bad replays. So I would recommend watching for things like wall hacking. I suppose it's really subjective at this point, which is unfortunate, because I do believe that there are a lot of false accusations of cheating being thrown around, because skill can look like cheating and cheating can look like skill in some instances, especially when it comes to private cheats or using very simple hacks like wall hack ESP, where you can see players moving on a radar. And you just use that information to your advantage in a game like PUBG can be just as good as an aimbot. If you know exactly where everyone is around you, you can base your decision making on that alone. And then, that's very difficult to detect. Not to mention private cheats are hard to detect as well. So regardless, we do have an additional thing that we can use to report players, which is a good thing. This is a step in the right direction. Let's move on to the bug fixes. So they fixed the issue where when a player lands from the plane, the position of character teleports intermittently. So that we see a player land one spot and then he teleports to another. That is supposedly fixed. They fixed the issue where character animation is frozen after rejoining after a crash. Fixed the issue where the red zone disappears instantly after it's formed. Too bad. Fixed the issue where some vehicles spawn in Miramar are stuck to an object and unable to move. Fixed the issue where a player sometimes couldn't pass through a door even if it was open. Fixed the issue where mouse cursor would disappear on a replay map, and a few other things in here that aren't particular. Well, this one's actually okay. Fixed the issue where in replay and death cam were played, the crosshair was bouncing. So maybe that will help with some of the false aimbot looking things that we see in replays. So the new content, this is important. I'll show you some of the things in game that I was able to unlock. But they've added these 2 new crates. So the new and paid crate box has a 40% drop rate, and the previous boxes have a 10% drop rate. So that doesn't add up to so I see. So 40-40. So 40% chance to get the locked crate, 40% chance to get the free crate, and then 10% chance to get Wanderer and 10% chance to get Survivor as well. So you are highly likely to get either one of the 2 new crates, 80% chance to get one of the 2 new crates. And then they actually include the drop rate percentages of all the items, which is actually a nice thing, and I believe required by law in China as well. Regardless of where you are in the world, it's nice to know what the drop rate is on some of these items. So the 2 new key items that I would say, I would say 4, are the 2 new jackets and the 2 new bandanas. So the cloth mask, the leopard cloth mask, has a 0.16 chance for dropping in the locked crate, and a 0.01% chance of dropping in the free crate. Similarly, the jackets, the two new jackets, the sleeveless biker jacket in the biker crate and the leather hoodie in the Desperado crate, which is pictured up here. This is the leather hoodie up here. So very, very cool looking. They have the lowest drop rates as well as far as clothing, with 0.32 and 0.01 again in the biker crate. So the free crate has a very, very steep dive into the rare items, whereas some of these items have 10% drop rates where you won't be getting anything good. So I would not expect to get a ton of good stuff in the biker crate. Obviously, the paid crate is where you'll be getting most of the good stuff. But even then, some of the items in that crate aren't that great. So, I mean, there's I luckily opened out of the 5 I received, I opened 3 and got the same item every time. This black sleeveless turtleneck. So a little unfortunate there. I did get some sweet looking gloves, but otherwise, this is a revenue generating thing for these crates. That is what their purpose is to generate revenue. So don't expect to get everything that you want right away. This will also bolster the burgeoning third-party skins and gambling markets that have been thriving only on the 2 crates that have already been out in the world. So having all these extra items out there is going to further increase the growth of those types of websites. That's kind of everything for this small little patch. Hopefully some of these little changes do have a positive effect on the gameplay. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the new skins, the little changes they've made. What could they be doing better? What would you like to see in the next kind of test server patch or update? Otherwise, that's it for now, guys. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/WTFMoses and on Twitter at WTFMoses. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, I'll see you out there.